You have probably heard the term quiet quitting. Sure have on this program. It's the idea of pulling way back on your hours or your effort before your job pretty much takes over your life. Basically, it's doing enough but not going above and beyond. At least 50% of the American workforce is quiet quitting as we speak. According to a study by Gallup, those are the numbers. But guess what? Plain old quitting outright, loud quitting, is still really in vogue, especially for women. The consulting firm Deloitte surveyed 5,000 women in 10 countries around the world, and more than half said they plan to quit their jobs altogether in the next 2 years. Half of them worldwide. Female middle managers are apparently the unhappiest group of all. 64% of them said they're getting out. That compares to just 21% who are in upper management, if they could get there. And why? Researchers are saying it's a perfect storm of work responsibilities, parenting responsibilities, and then the added pressure to go back into the office post-COVID. I'm joined now by Kim Rittberg. She's a former media exec who ditched her job to run her own business, and she also hosts the podcast Mom's Exit Interview. I just love the title of it alone. So is this a temporary trend, Kim, post-COVID? I mean, I know everybody's kind of all wound up about whether they're in, they're out of the office, home, go, commute, don't commute. What is it?
This is just a new name for something that's been going on for quite a while. Women, and especially moms, feeling burnout and feeling that there's a lack of flexibility in their job is definitely nothing new. It's just a new phrase for it.
What I can never get over, because it's what's the year? 2022, almost 2023. Why aren't we more evolved? Why are women feeling so much more family stress than the men are? I see men sharing these duties all the time, but ultimately the women are the CEO of the family, right?
It is a great question. I mean, essentially jobs want us to be there working 24/7. And then your family needs you 24/7, but there aren't 48 hours in the day. So that's where it comes to play. And there's that whole second shift, right? The double shift. Mom goes to work and they come home and there's housework and childcare and caregiving and permission slips. And it's sort of never ending.
But dads are there way more than when I grew up. You know, I don't think my dad changed any diapers. Nowadays, that is just standard. It's kind of 50-50 for a lot of houses. And people, if you're out there and it's not, fix it. I guess what I'm asking is, with all the evolution in the family dynamic, why are women still feeling this push and this crunch and the stress more than the men are?
Men are definitely participating more. So I'm not, the dads are doing great work, but the truth is a lot of that burden is still falling on women. The numbers bear it out, and anecdotally it bears it out. On Mom's Exit Interview, I talked to moms across the country, and they still feel overburdened by the home, the housework, the childcare, in addition to the work. So even though, yes, dads are definitely participating more 100% than our parents' generation, there still is that imbalance.
So this is important. You know, what can companies do if there's a bunch of, you know, managers and corporate leaders out there watching right now thinking, oh, God, not this again. What can they do to stop this trend? What can they do for the female employees who they may not even know feel like this lady?
Don't be like that lady, for sure. Paid leave, definitely don't be like her. Paid leave is one of the biggest things. For example, I was a media executive and I was given 3 paid weeks. 3 weeks of paid maternity leave. And you think about that as an employee. When your company is only willing to give you tiny bits of time to recover from having a child, what message does that send to you as an employee? And of course, you actually need that time to recover. So I think number one is paid leave is very important. And number two is creating those boundaries. So especially now we're seeing with hybrid and remote work, in some ways it's incredible, but in other ways, there's no off switch. And so I think it's really important for managers to respect boundaries, especially when you have parents, bedtime, nighttime. You know, you want a parent there for that. And so I think it's really important for managers to not just say, oh, your child is so cute and look at a photo on your desk, but really acknowledge that you are a whole person. And when you leave that job, you're still a parent.
Okay, I got like 10 seconds left, but I have to ask you, is it ever going to happen again where we have an 8-hour work day like my mom and dad did?
Oh my God, if you just made that happen, I would love that so much. Maybe you're just predicting the future. I really hope so. I do hope burnout diminishes, and I hope that the boundaries are created, but also the expectations are lowered.
Well, we do so much more, so much faster because of all the technology. I sometimes think, why can't an 8-hour day be, far more productive than 70s just on its own with how fast and, how high paced we are. But we can
Well, you
always
create it,
dream, and
I'll
maybe
work it.
we can group meditate on it. Kim Rittberg, thanks so much for being here. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.